Hi folks, this is Jake. I just want to share with you 10 reasons why the atheism on YouTube has fallen. 10 reasons why it is discredited, and I can back all this up. In fact, I'm going to give the details. It'll be quite explosive. Number one, major leaders of the atheist community on YouTube have been involved in underhanded tactics in their apologetic methods. I'm not going to name a name, but one famous atheist on YouTube formed a Christian faith healer's works to complain and also more or less accuse them of paedophilia on an atheist show. I've made detailed comments about that. So basically the atheist leadership on YouTube are discredited. Simple as that. Second thing is about the atheist community and the discreditedness is how they have consistently avoided real academic debate with me. They know they would lose, and they know that I'm an expert on theology, and especially theological issues concerning the resurrection, and they avoid like the plague these opportunities for academic debate in these areas, which shows how discredited they are and dishonest. The next thing about the atheists and why they're discredited is because they've been involved in threats. I have been threatened in the past by atheists. One or two have threatened me emotionally. One or two have threatened me legally, and I feel that if the atheist community have tried to do that to me over the last couple of years, I do think that shows how discredited they are as a movement. If they can't deal with me in a proper academic way, to do these kind of things to me shows how discredited they are. Next thing is famous atheists have been known to try to sabotage and espionage me. I've had famous atheists edit my material without me realizing it on my Skype. They've listened to me on Skype, recorded me without my permission. They have sabotaged me by leading me into a conversation in Skype, but at the same time having other people in the background listening in and making notes, and then reporting on these things, but actually doing it in a way that's dishonest, reporting me that things that I had not said or distorted what I said. So these have been well documented. Everybody knows about them. Even the atheists have admitted that they've been exposed on these things, and they are discredited. And this is major atheist leaders on YouTube. The other part of the discredited atheist is I have offered free, uncensored democratic opportunities on my channels, and I have many channels, and I have given atheists plenty of opportunity. Recently I banned them because they tried to entrap me on a forum, and they tried to discredit me there, and the person called Aaron will not have an open academic debate with me, yet he wanted to lead me on and sabotage me on a blog forum, and because of this I've said that they are banned from my channel for doing that, and for not having open academic discussion and debate. So therefore I just want to say that I have given these atheists plenty of opportunity for freedom of speech. Now here's the point: they don't give me freedom of speech on their channels. Some of their channels I've been blocked from. Some of their channels they won't let me have an opinion. and they won't give me an opportunity to have free speech, but yet they curtail my free speech. This is the atheist community, and yet they want free speech on my channel. You know, that's dishonesty. That shows how discredited they are. If they want freedom, they should give other people freedom on their channels and opportunity for freedom of speech, but they don't. They say they do, but they don't. They are very, very anti-democratic group of people on the blogosphere. Thank you. In terms of scholarship, 99% of the atheists on the atheist YouTube, 99% of them, whenever I've argued with them or debated with them, never use any primary source material. They always use Wikipedia most of the time, which shows you how not very well scholarly equipped they are for actual proper debate and discussion. But 99% of atheists that I've ever debated, whenever they quote something, they quote Wikipedia, which shows you the low mentality that they have, that they're not really properly engaged in the subjects that they're actually talking about, which is a shame, really. Alright, take care now. The other thing as well is the atheists used to witch hunt me, and they don't do it as much now because I've got so many profiles, so many channels that they can't completely destroy me, so they won't witch hunt me. But they did do it one time. The second thing is about arguments. Most of the atheist arguments that I present to the atheists, most of the atheists don't understand those arguments, and they can't refute the arguments. The is-ought position, no one's ever refuted that. They don't even understand the argument. The historical teleological argument, they don't understand that. And the fact is that they're just behind in especially New Testament scholarship, and you know, it's a shame really, because they've got a long way to go before they can get their act together. They think they know what they're talking about, but it's quite obvious that they don't. If they did, they would have proper academic debates with me, but they won't. What they do, they like to ambush you, get you on a show, or try to ambush you on their show and try to pull you down. But yet, you know, that shows how weak they are when they try to do that. The evidence is this: is I had a Socratic club, and I've been outnumbered. I've let atheists come on. I've been 2 atheists have been on, 3 atheists, 4 atheists. I've been outnumbered 2, 3, 4 atheists to debate me, and yet they won't let me on their shows, but I let them on my shows and outnumber me. So that shows how discredited they are. A lot of atheists spin against me on blog shows and blog TV and say lots of bad things about me, say lots of nasty things about me, and they quote my writings, but you've got to understand where it's coming from. You see, I'm constantly getting private messages by famous atheists on YouTube, okay, who leave veiled comments which insinuate that if I continue to go forward, it will get difficult for me. I have constantly had tricks played on me by the atheist community. Constantly had my videos edited by the atheist community. Constantly been misrepresented by the atheist community on a lot of my views and ideas. And had a lot of underhanded, really dirty tactics played by many atheists, even famous atheists on YouTube. And so a lot of the people in the public eye don't see all this that goes on and has been going on. So you've got to be aware of what the atheists are doing and do. And when they quote things about me, you've got to say, well, what's the context? You see. And that's what the atheists will try to do. They will try to spin. They are masters at spin. They are masters. They can play video clips of you as if you're saying something that you weren't even meaning that in that context. So you've got to be careful. The time and again, the atheists have taken my videos, played my clips, edited it, and made it say something that it didn't actually say. This has been going on for like 2.5 years, so you've got to be careful with these atheists about what they quote in writing, what I've said, and how they've manipulated my videos. But behind the scenes, I get private messages from famous atheists who leave comments and so, as if to say, you know, if you continue to go forward, you know, it's going to be difficult for you. In other words, they're going to put pressure on me. And it's in that context that I've had to maintain my presence on YouTube over the last 2.5 years under that kind of emotional threat. And it's not been easy, but I've tried to do my best. Okay. One of the things I've noticed about atheists when they debate, whether they debate professionally like Matt Delonte and others, what I've noticed is if they're losing an argument, they'll backtrack and say they didn't say whatever they said. And you'll find that with a lot of atheists on YouTube. If they lose an argument, they'll just turn around and say, oh, I didn't mean that. So you can never actually pin the atheists down, because they're always moving like snakes. And I've noticed that quite a lot. The atheists lose a lot of arguments. They're always losing all the time. And so what they do, they bluff their way through and try to say, oh, I didn't say that, I didn't mean this. And this is a tactic they've done to me a lot of times. But what can you do if they're acting like that? But 99% of the time, atheists are always losing arguments, always losing the debate, and they resort to these kind of tactics, and it's a shame. But they need to stop. Okay. You see this with Matt Delonte and many of these atheists. And finally, last thing I want to say is I retired from YouTube. And even in my retirement, the atheists still attack me. I had one atheist phone me up on Skype, talk to me, and recorded our conversation without me knowing. I had a famous atheist like Aram Ra try to entrap me on a blog show. And an atheist forum, the League of Reason, tried to discredit me. Publishing my conversation with them, that was a private conversation. All this when I'd retired. So even in my retirement they can't leave me alone. And it shows how discredited they are, because they fight like that, but yet they won't have open discussion and academic debate, and that's all I've ever wanted. And they just won't have it. Which shows you they're scared of something, because they know they'll lose. Now, just one last one. If you think, Jay, this is just all too much, well, bear this out. If this is all too much, did you know that there was an atheist who actually did a video with me being crucified? Now, I ask you, is that normal? And the whole atheist community allowed that to happen, know that it happened, and have never done anything about it. And there was an atheist who had me crucified, put on a cross, and it was all funny, and it was all ha ha ha, but that was the most terrible thing anybody could ever do to a person, and it was done, and the atheist community never did anything about it. To me, that shows the atheist community is discredited. Thank you.